She had 30 seconds before she became someone's wife. 30 seconds before the officiant pronounced her and Tyler married. 30 seconds before the biggest mistake of her life became permanent. Maya stood at the altar in her simple white dress, hands trembling as she held the bouquet, trying to ignore the bruise on her ribs hidden beneath the fabric. Tyler smiled at her. That smile she used to love. That smile that now made her stomach turn. But she had no way out. Nowhere to run. No proof anyone would believe. Then the chapel doors burst open. Vincent Kang stood in the doorway. Her boss. The Korean Mafia boss whose estate she'd cleaned for 2 years. Tall, dangerous, dressed in an expensive black suit. And he was walking straight toward her. Hey family, before the story begins, do me a favor real quick. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. Your comments fuel these stories. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button because what happens next will blow your mind. Happy New Year to all of you. Let's start this year with a story you won't forget. The small chapel went completely silent. Every head turned. Tyler's smile froze on his face. Maya's heart stopped beating. Vincent walked down that aisle like he owned it. His dark eyes locked on hers, never looking away. Not at Tyler. Not at the shocked guests. Just her. What the hell is this? Tyler said, his voice sharp. Angry. The voice Maya knew too well behind closed doors. Vincent didn't answer him. He stopped right in front of Maya. So close she could smell his cologne. See the determination in his eyes. I'm sorry, he said quietly. Only to her. But I can't let you do this. You can't. Tyler started, reaching for Maya's arm. Vincent moved faster. He cupped Maya's face in both hands, tilted her chin up, and kissed her, right there, in front of everyone, in her wedding dress. Seconds before she would have become another man's wife. The chapel erupted. People shouted. Tyler lunged forward. Vincent's men, whom Maya hadn't even noticed entering, blocked him instantly. Strong hands holding him back as he cursed and struggled. Maya stood frozen, eyes wide, heart hammering. Vincent pulled back slowly, his hands still gentle on her face. Trust me, he whispered. Please. Then he turned to face the crowd, his voice calm but carrying authority that made everyone shut up immediately. This wedding is over. Tyler Morrison is not the man you think he is. You can't just... The officiant stammered. Vincent pulled out his phone, held it up. 3 months ago, Tyler put his last girlfriend in the hospital. Broken ribs, fractured jaw, internal bleeding. Before that, another girlfriend. And another. 5 women total over 6 years. All too scared to press charges. All paid off or threatened into silence. Maya's blood ran cold. 5 women. She knew Tyler had a temper. Knew he'd hit her twice. Then apologized with tears and promises. But 5 others? You're lying. Tyler shouted, still struggling against the men holding him. She's my fiancé. You have no right. I have evidence, Vincent said coldly. He swiped his phone. Images appeared on the small projector someone had set up. Maya didn't even see when. Hospital photos, medical records, screenshots of threatening messages, police reports that had been filed then mysteriously dropped. The room gasped. Someone cried out. Maya's best friend Jessica, sitting in the 3rd row, had her hand over her mouth, tears already streaming. Vincent turned back to Maya. His voice softened. 2 weeks ago, you came to work with a bruise on your arm. You said you fell. Last week, you limped. Said you twisted your ankle. 3 days ago, I saw the mark on your neck you tried to hide with makeup. I knew then. I've known for a while. But I needed proof you couldn't deny. Proof that would make you see the truth. Tears burned Maya's eyes. You knew. I've been investigating him for 6 weeks, Vincent said quietly. I couldn't tell you. You wouldn't have believed me. You would have defended him. So I waited. I'm sorry I waited until today, but I needed you to see this. All of it. Before it was too late. Tyler finally broke free from the guards. But he didn't lunge at Vincent. He grabbed Maya's wrist, yanking her toward him hard enough to hurt. We're leaving. Now. Vincent's hand shot out, gripping Tyler's wrist with enough force that Tyler gasped and released Maya immediately. "You don't touch her. Ever again. She's mine. She's no one's," Vincent said, his voice dropping to something deadly quiet, something that made the entire room go still. "Especially not yours. You're done. My people will escort you out. If you come near her again, you won't just be escorted. Am I clear?" Tyler looked around wildly, at the evidence still displayed, at the faces staring at him with disgust and horror, at Maya, who was crying now, one hand over her mouth. "You'll regret this," he spat at Vincent. Then his eyes found Maya. "And you're nothing without me. You'll come crawling back." "Get him out," Vincent said flatly. They dragged Tyler out. His shouts echoed down the hallway until a door slammed and cut them off. Silence filled the chapel again. Heavy, awkward, broken only by Maya's quiet sobs. Vincent turned to the guests. "I apologize for the disruption, but I couldn't let this happen. If you'll excuse us." It wasn't a request. People filed out slowly, some shooting Maya sympathetic looks, others whispering. Jessica ran up and hugged Maya tight before leaving, whispering, "Call me later. I'm so glad you're safe." Then it was just Maya and Vincent in the empty chapel. Her in her wedding dress, him in his expensive suit, the flowers she'd scraped together money for still decorating the altar, the cake she'd stressed over still waiting in the reception hall. "I don't understand," Maya whispered. How did you?" "Come with me," Vincent said gently. "Let me explain everything. Please." She should have said no, should have been angry, should have demanded answers right there. But she was so tired, so scared, so relieved. So she nodded. Vincent drove her himself. Not to his estate. To a private apartment in the city she'd never seen before. Security everywhere. Cameras. Guards who nodded respectfully as Vincent led her inside. The apartment was beautiful. Modern. Clean. Safe. He guided her to the couch, brought her water, then sat across from her. Not too close. Giving her space. "Talk," Maya said, her voice shaking. "Tell me everything." Vincent leaned forward, elbows on his knees. "You started working for me 2 years ago. You were quiet, efficient, kind to my staff. I barely noticed you at first. You were just another employee." He paused. "That changed about 8 months ago." Maya's breath caught. "You were cleaning the library, singing softly, some old song I didn't recognize. You didn't know I was there. I watched you for maybe 5 minutes before you noticed me. You apologized for disturbing me. But you weren't disturbing me. You were." He stopped, searching for words. "You were the first peaceful thing I'd seen in years." "Vincent, let me finish." His eyes met hers. "I started noticing you more after that. The way you smiled at the kitchen staff. How you always asked the guards how their families were. How you'd stay late to help others finish their work. You were genuine in a world where nothing is genuine. And I started looking forward to the moments I'd see you, even if it was just passing in a hallway." Maya's heart was beating too fast. "Then you mentioned your boyfriend, Tyler. You seemed happy when you talked about him at first. But over the months, that changed. You smiled less, jumped when doors closed too loud, started wearing long sleeves even in summer. And I knew. I've seen abuse enough in my world to recognize the signs. Why didn't you say something? Would you have believed me?" Vincent asked softly. "Your boss, a criminal, telling you your boyfriend is dangerous? You would have thought I had an agenda. So I started investigating quietly. And what I found." His jaw tightened. "Maya, he was going to kill you. Maybe not this year. Maybe not next year. But eventually." The pattern was clear. Each girlfriend, the abuse escalated. The last one nearly died. You would have been next. Tears streamed down Maya's face. "I thought I could fix him. He said he loved me. He said he'd change. They always do." Vincent stood, walked to a safe built into the wall, pulled out a thick folder, handed it to her. "This is everything. Medical records I obtained through contacts. Testimonies from ex-girlfriends who agreed to talk once they knew they were protected. Police reports. Evidence of him stalking you before you even started dating Maya. He targeted you. Her hands shook as she opened the folder. Page after page of horror. Women who looked like her. Bruises. Hospital visits. One woman's testimony about how Tyler had choked her until she passed out, then cried and begged forgiveness after. Another about how he'd isolated her from friends and family until she had no one. "Oh God," Maya whispered. "I'm sorry," Vincent said quietly. "I'm sorry I ruined your wedding day. I'm sorry I embarrassed you. But I'm not sorry I stopped it. I couldn't watch you walk into that." Maya looked up at him through tears. "You've been protecting me, haven't you? That's why Tyler never came to your estate. Why he always insisted we meet away from where I work. I made it clear he wasn't welcome on my property. He didn't know why. Thought I was just being territorial about my staff." Vincent sat back down. "Maya, there's something else you need to know." Her stomach dropped. "What?" "You have another problem. Your ex-boyfriend before Tyler. Devin." Ice flooded her veins. "How do you know about Devin?" "Because he's been looking for you for 3 years. And he's getting close." Vincent pulled out his phone, showed her surveillance photos. Devin outside her apartment building. Devin at the grocery store she frequented. Devin watching her from a distance. He never stopped hunting you. Tyler was actually a buffer keeping Devin at bay because Devin wouldn't risk confronting another man. But now that the wedding is public knowledge, now that it's been stopped, Devin will see an opening. Maya stood up abruptly, panic clawing at her throat. "No. No, no, no. I ran from him. I changed my name, my number, everything. He has resources. And obsession." Vincent stood too. "Maya, I need you to listen carefully. You're not safe. Not from Tyler's retaliation. Not from Devin. You need protection. I can't afford. I'm offering it for free." She stared at him. "Why? Why would you do this?" Vincent was quiet for a long moment. Then, "Because I care about you. More than I should. More than is probably appropriate given that you work for me. But I do. And I won't watch you get hurt when I have the power to prevent it. I can't just accept. There's one way to make you completely untouchable," Vincent said. "In my world and the normal world. Legal protection and social protection." Maya's eyes widened. "No. Marry me. You just stopped my wedding. Marry me," he repeated, stepping closer. "A contract. Temporary. 1 year. As my wife, no one touches you. Tyler can't come near you without starting a war he'll lose. Devin becomes my problem to handle. You'll have legal protection, financial security, safety. And after a year, if you want out, you walk away with enough money to start over anywhere in the world. This is insane. This is survival." Maya's mind raced. Her apartment lease was in Tyler's name. Her car was in his name. She had nothing. No family nearby. No savings because Tyler always had reasons why she should contribute to their future. She was trapped. And now Devin was back. "What do you get out of this?" she asked suspiciously. Vincent's expression softened. "Peace of mind. Knowing you're safe. That's enough." "That's not enough. No one does this for nothing." He held her gaze. "You want the truth? I want you in my life. I've wanted that for months. But I knew you were with someone, so I kept my distance. Stayed professional. But I'm not a good man, Maya. I'm selfish. And I saw an opportunity to keep you close while protecting you. So yes, I benefit too. I get to see you every day. Know you're safe. Hope that maybe, someday you might feel something for me too." Her breath caught. "Vincent, you don't have to answer that. You don't have to feel anything. The offer stands either way. Marry me for protection. Stay safe. Figure out the rest later." Maya sank back onto the couch, head in her hands. Her wedding day, the worst and best day of her life somehow. She'd almost married a monster, been saved by another dangerous man. And now that dangerous man was offering her a different kind of prison. Except it didn't feel like a prison. It felt like the first real choice she'd had in years. If I do this, she said slowly, I need rules. Anything. You don't touch me unless I say so. Agreed. No control. I make my own decisions about my life. Agreed. And when the year is up, you let me go. No questions. No guilt. Vincent nodded. On my word. You'll be free. She looked up at him. This man who'd watched her for months, investigated her boyfriend, ruined her wedding to save her life, who was looking at her now like she was something precious instead of something to own. Okay, she whispered. I'll marry you. Something fierce and protective flashed in his eyes. Then you're safe now. I promise you that. They got married 3 days later. No ceremony. Just a courthouse, 2 witnesses from Vincent's trusted staff, and papers that made her Maya Kang, his wife, under his protection. It felt surreal signing her name, wearing the simple ring he'd bought, nothing flashy, just a gold band that somehow felt heavier than it looked. Vincent moved her into his estate that same day, not into his bedroom, into her own private suite with a lock on the inside that only she controlled. He'd made that clear. Her space, her sanctuary. I have to go handle some business, Vincent told her that first evening. Security knows your family now. They'll die before letting anyone hurt you. But don't leave the property without telling me first. Not until we've dealt with Tyler and Devin. What are you going to do? Maya asked. His expression went cold. What needs to be done? Don't ask questions you don't want answered. He left. Maya stood in her new room, in this massive estate, wearing a ring that bound her to a man she barely knew but who'd saved her life. She should have been terrified. Instead, she felt safe for the first time in 3 years. The next few days were strange. Vincent was gone often, handling what she assumed was both business and her protection. When he was home, he was quietly present. They had meals together, talked about small things. He asked about her life before Tyler. She asked careful questions about his world. He answered honestly, never sugar-coated what he did, but also showed her the legitimate businesses he ran, the people he employed, the strange code of honor he lived by. You're not what I expected, Maya said one night over dinner. Vincent raised an eyebrow. What did you expect? Someone crueler, more violent. You're dangerous, I know that, but you're also kind. To your staff. To me. I save the cruelty for people who deserve it, he said quietly. You don't. A week after their courthouse wedding, Vincent came home with news. Tyler's gone. Maya's fork clattered to her plate. Gone where? Out of the country. Permanently. I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. He takes the money, disappears, never comes back. Or he faces charges for assault, stalking, and witness intimidation that I've made sure will actually stick this time. He took the money, Maya guessed. He took the money. He's a coward. Bullies always are. Vincent's eyes met hers. He can't hurt you anymore. Relief flooded through her so intensely she started crying. Just broke down right there at the dinner table. Vincent moved immediately, kneeling beside her chair, not touching but close. Hey, you're okay. You're safe. I thought I'd never be free of him, she sobbed. You are now. I promise. She looked at him through tears. This man who'd turned her life upside down and somehow made it better. Without thinking, she hugged him, wrapped her arms around his neck and held on. Vincent froze for a second. Then his arms came around her carefully. Protective. Gentle. Thank you, she whispered. Always, he murmured back. But Devin was still out there. And Vincent's expression got darker every time his men reported another sighting. Devin watching the estate from a distance. Devin asking questions about Maya around town. Devin who wouldn't take money or threats. He's different from Tyler, Vincent told her 2 weeks into their arrangement. He's obsessed. Genuinely believes you belong to him. That makes him more dangerous. What do we do? Maya asked. We wait. Let him make a move. Then I finish it. The waiting was torture. Maya jumped at shadows. Couldn't sleep. Started spending more time in the main house instead of alone in her suite because the isolation made her paranoid. Vincent noticed. started staying home more, working from his office instead of going out, making sure she was never alone. One night she couldn't sleep at all, wandered downstairs at 2 a.m. and found Vincent in the living room, working on his laptop. He looked up immediately when she entered. "Can't sleep?" he asked. "Every time I close my eyes, I see Devon's face." She sat on the other end of the couch. "Tell me something. Distract me." Vincent closed his laptop. "What do you want to know? Why did you really kiss me at the wedding? You could have just shown the evidence. Stopped it without that." He was quiet for a long moment. "Because I wanted to. I'd wanted to for months. And I knew it was my only chance. That if you married him, even if I stopped it after, you'd never look at me the same way. So I took what I could get. Selfish, but honest." Maya's heart stuttered. "You've had feelings for me for months? Since that day in the library. Maybe before. I don't know exactly when it happened. Just that one day I realized I'd memorized your schedule. Knew what days you worked. Found excuses to walk past wherever you were cleaning. Pathetic for a man like me." "It's not pathetic," she said softly. "It is when you were in love with someone else. When you were happy. I had no right to want you. Still don't." Maya studied him in the dim light. This powerful, dangerous man admitting he'd been pining for her like a teenager. "You saved me, Vincent. You saw I was in danger and you saved me. That's not nothing. I had an agenda. Wanted you for myself. You also gave me a choice. The contract. The rules. You could have trapped me, but you didn't. You gave me freedom while protecting me. That means something." He looked at her then. Really looked. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying I'm glad it was you who kissed me. I'm glad you stopped that wedding. And I'm glad I'm here now. With you." The air between them changed. Charged. Vincent swallowed hard. "Maya, I'm not saying I love you. I don't know what I feel yet. But I feel something. And it scares me. It should. I'm not a safe choice." Tyler seemed safe at first. Look how that turned out. She shifted closer. "Maybe I'm done with safe." Vincent's hand moved slowly, giving her time to pull back. When she didn't, his fingers brushed her cheek. "Tell me to stop." "I don't want you to stop." He kissed her. Different from the wedding. That was for show, for rescue. This was soft, questioning, real. Maya leaned into it, her hand coming up to rest against his chest, feeling his heart racing under her palm. When they broke apart, Vincent pressed his forehead to hers. "This complicates things. Everything's already complicated." Fair point. They stayed like that for a while, close, breathing together, not rushing. Then Maya yawned and Vincent smiled. "Come on. You need sleep." "Will you stay?" she asked. "Just until I fall asleep? I don't want to be alone." "I'll stay as long as you need." He walked her to her suite, sat in the chair by her bed while she curled under the covers. Started telling her random stories about growing up in Korea, his voice low and soothing. She fell asleep to the sound of it. And when she woke up 6 hours later, he was still there, head tilted back against the chair, asleep, keeping watch. Something in her chest cracked open then. This man who'd married her to protect her, who stayed awake watching over her sleep, who'd ruined her wedding and somehow given her a better life. Things shifted after that night. They were more careful with each other, more honest. Vincent told her about his plans to eventually leave this life, how he was tired of violence, wanted something quieter. Maya told him about her dreams before Tyler destroyed them, about wanting to paint again, go back to school maybe. "Do it," Vincent said immediately. "Whatever you want. I'll make it happen. Just like that. You're my wife. Even if it's temporary. I take care of what's mine." "I'm not a possession," she said, but gently. "No. You're a person who deserves good things. Let me give them to you." He enrolled her in art classes, bought her supplies, set up a studio in one of the empty rooms, encouraged her. And slowly, Maya started remembering who she was before fear took over her life. But Devon was still out there, getting bolder. Vincent's security caught him trying to scale the estate wall one night. Stopped him before he got far, but it rattled everyone, especially Maya. He's escalating, Vincent said grimly. We need to end this. How? Let me worry about that. But Maya was done being protected from the truth. No. Tell me, what are you planning? Vincent hesitated. Then, we use you as bait. Absolutely not. Controlled bait. Safe. My men everywhere. But we let him think he has an opening. Draw him out. Then I handle it. By handle it you mean? Yes. Maya should have been horrified. Should have protested. But she was so tired of running. So tired of fear. Okay. Do it. You're sure? I trust you. Just promise me you'll come back. His eyes softened. Always. They set the trap carefully. Let word slip that Maya would be at a specific coffee shop in town, minimal security. Devon took the bait within 48 hours. Vincent's men watched him watch her. Waited until he made his move. When Devon approached, Vincent stepped out of the shadows. The confrontation was quick, controlled. Devon tried to grab Maya. Vincent's men surrounded them instantly. And Vincent made one thing very clear. She's my wife. Touch her and you die. Follow her and you die. Think about her and you die. You get one chance to walk away. Take it. But Devon was too far gone. Too obsessed. He lunged. And Vincent ended it. Not with a gun. With his hands. Quick. Final. Permanent. Maya watched from safety behind reinforced glass in a nearby car. Saw Devon fall. Saw Vincent check his pulse, nod to his men. Saw them clean up like they'd done this 1,000 times. When Vincent walked back to the car, there was blood on his knuckles. He looked at Maya through the window, waiting for disgust, for horror. Instead, she opened the door, stepped out, took his hand. Is it over? It's over. Both of them. You're free now. She should have been scared of him, repulsed. Instead, she felt lighter than she had in years. Take me home. Maya. Take me home, Vincent. He did. They rode in silence. When they got to the estate, Maya didn't go to her suite. She followed Vincent to his room. He paused at the doorway. You don't have to. I know. I want to. You're in shock. You're not thinking clearly. I'm thinking clearly for the first time in years. She stepped closer. You killed for me, protected me, changed my entire life. And I'm not scared of you. I should be. But I'm not. Why not? Because I know the difference now. Between someone who hurts you and someone who die before letting anyone hurt you. Tyler made me feel small. Devon made me feel hunted. You make me feel safe. And Vincent. She looked up at him. I think I'm falling in love with you. His breath caught. You don't mean that. Ido. I fought it. Told myself it was just gratitude or trauma bonding or whatever. But it's not. It's real. You're real. This is real. Vincent cupped her face in his hands. I've loved you since that day in the library. I'll love you until the day I die. But you need to be sure. Because if we do this, I'm not letting you go when the year is up. Contract or not. Then don't let me go. I don't want you to. He kissed her then. Deep and desperate and claiming. And Maya kissed him back with everything she had. They stumbled into his room. Door closing. Lock clicking. World falling away until it was just them. The next morning, Maya woke up wrapped in Vincent's arms. He was already awake, watching her. Hi, she said softly. He brushed hair from her face. Any regrets? None. You? Never. She snuggled closer. So what happens now? With the contract? Vincent reached to his nightstand, pulled out folded papers. The contract they'd signed. And slowly, deliberately, he tore it in half. Then half again. No contract. Just choice. You stay because you want to. Leave if you want to. But I hope you stay. I'm staying, Maya said immediately. I choose you. I choose this. I choose us. Then you're mine. Really mine. Not on paper. In reality. And you're mine. Always have been. Vincent started dismantling his empire after that. Slowly, carefully, sold legitimate businesses to trusted people. cut ties with dangerous alliances, made enemies into neutrals through negotiation instead of force. Took months, but he did it. For her, for them, for the future they wanted. Maya painted, went back to school, started living instead of just surviving. And Vincent was there for all of it, supporting, encouraging, loving her in ways she'd never been loved before. 1 year after their courthouse wedding, they had another wedding. Real this time, small, just people who mattered. Vincent's sister flew in from Korea. Maya's friend Jessica stood as maid of honor. And when the officiant asked if Vincent took Maya as his wife, he said, "I already did. But yes, again, always." Maya laughed through tears. "I do too. For real this time." They danced under string lights in the garden of their home. No longer his estate, their home, built on choice and trust and love that had grown from the worst circumstances into something beautiful. "Do you ever think about that day?" Maya asked, head on his shoulder. "My first wedding? Every day. Best decision I ever made. Worst wedding I ever had," she teased. "Best kiss though," she laughed. "Can't argue with that." "Marry me," Vincent said suddenly. "We just got married. Again." "I know. But marry me every day. In every small way. Choose me. Like I choose you." "Deal," Maya whispered. "Every single day." Later that night, wrapped up in bed together, Vincent said quietly, "I need to tell you something." Maya tensed. "What?" "That day I stopped your wedding. I told you I waited because I needed evidence. That was true. But it wasn't the whole truth." He paused. "I almost stopped it the week before. Almost told you everything then. But I was scared. Not of Tyler or Devin or any threat. I was scared you'd hate me for interfering. That you'd see me as another controlling man trying to dictate your life." "Vincent." "So I convinced myself to wait. Made it about the evidence. About doing it right. But really, I was giving myself time to accept that after that day you might never speak to me again. That I was sacrificing any chance of you caring about me to save your life. And I decided you were worth it. Even if you hated me forever. You were worth it." Tears filled Maya's eyes. "I could never hate you. You didn't know that then. Neither did I. I walked down that aisle fully expecting you to despise me after. Kissed you knowing it might be the only time I ever got to. And it was still worth it." Maya rolled over to face him. "You gave me my life back. My freedom. Myself. How could I hate you for that? Some people would. Would have rather had the wedding. The normalcy. Even if it killed them eventually. I'm not some people." She kissed him softly. "And you're not the villain in this story, Vincent. You're the hero. My hero." He pulled her close, burying his face in her hair. "I love you so damn much. I love you too. Every day. Every way. Always." The city lights glowed outside their window. Tomorrow they'd wake up and choose each other again. And the day after. And the day after that. No contracts. No obligations. Just love. Real, hard-fought, chosen love. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't staying silent. Sometimes it's speaking up even when you have everything to lose. Sometimes it's walking down an aisle to destroy a wedding to save a life. Sometimes it's learning to love again after being broken. Sometimes it's trusting someone dangerous to keep you safe. Because the right choice doesn't come easy. It comes with risk and fear and courage you didn't know you had. It comes with a Korean Mafia boss stopping your wedding, with evidence of abuse, with protection that becomes love, with choosing each other every single day. Maya had walked toward one altar in fear, and ended up at another in love. Not despite the chaos, but because of it. Because Vincent saw her, chose her, fought for her when she couldn't fight for herself, and then gave her the freedom to choose him back. That's the real love story. Not the one that starts perfect, but the one that starts broken and becomes beautiful through choice. So let me ask you, if you were in that chapel, would you have trusted the man stopping your wedding? Or would you have fought to stay? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if this story touched your heart, hit that like button, subscribe, and share because more powerful stories like this are coming your way. Thank you for watching. and welcome to a new year of unforgettable stories.